Friendships used to build themselves. Same school, same uni, same office. Proximity and repetition did all the work. But now the world has gone fully online. Schedules get busier, and maintaining deep friendships requires actual effort that most people don't know how to put in. The result is a lot of adults who are technically surrounded by people but are not really close to any of them. I have friendships that genuinely carry me through hard periods. People from my home country whom I've had for years, and people here in Spain that I never knew I could connect with so well. After watching both friendships that stay and the ones that have faded, I can see three specific reasons why some friendships stay surface level and exactly what it takes to fix it. If you're new here, hi, my name is Alina. I am a Ukrainian living in Spain, working in tech as a product manager, building my life intentionally and sharing the journey on this channel. Having the right people by my side is one of the most amazing parts of my life. I am very grateful to have them, and I want more people to experience the joy of having friendships this deep. I am really excited to talk on this topic, so let's get right into it. The first mistake that I see people making is not being okay with the fact that everyone has their own lives. If you are going to hold grudges because your friend has a partner now or is focusing on work and you're not spending any time together, your friendship is doomed. I believe that being patient is one of the most important principles of friendship. You need to be excited to see your friends going through different life stages and grow as personalities. You need to be ready to be there for them through every step. When they get a new job and they need to spend all the time focusing on it. When they get a partner and they're all consumed in new feelings. When they find a passion in a new sport and need time to get used to it and to get good at it at the start. The stage when you and your best friend have the same stuff going on in your life ends after high school, after uni max. Because later we all have new responsibilities, we have different jobs, we invest our time in different things. Sometimes we need more time and focus, and it is not about not wanting to spend time with someone. It's just the fact that life gets in the way and you cannot do anything about it. And having a good friend and watching this friend going through different life stages is a beautiful experience because you get to see someone growing. At this point of my life, I have a friend who just bought an apartment, a friend who just got a new job, a friend who started a business a year ago, a friend who's starting a business now, a friend who has pivoted in their career, someone who is thinking about having a baby. And obviously I cannot match all of their experiences, if even any of them. But I get to see them building the lives that they want, and even if it comes at the cost of us not talking as much as I want, I'm excited for all of us to make our dreams come true and then get together and catch up after it. You need to try to understand your friends as much as possible, even if you do not relate to their life at the moment at all. This skill is the most important for me and my friends back in Ukraine because they are all still going through danger, overnight attacks, blackouts, sleeping in the shelters. At the same time, I am living by the sea in Spain, building a life that looks like a dream life to anyone who has no context. And they still have enough patience to support me through every step. And they're the ones who remind me how much it took for me to get here, how much uncertainty I had to overcome to be here right now. And I'm still amazed every time how they're still excited to hear about what I'm going through here, about both lows and highs. Even when for me it seems like there's nothing to complain about, everything's going great, I'm safe, which for us as for Ukrainians is just the biggest value. And it seems like if you're not getting attacked on a regular basis, you already have it better than many more people. So when I'm here, I'm not really complaining about anything, and my friends, I make sure to ask time to time to make sure that I'm not holding stuff back, that I don't hide any problems because they want to know about them, because they matter equally as much as what they're going through in Ukraine. And they're also very open about what's happening in their lives. Someone's renovating an apartment and getting a cat, someone's moving in with her boyfriend, someone's changing jobs. So we do not relate to each other, but we're still very open and very excited to talk about what each of us separately is going through. It's been 2 years since we have not been in the same circumstances, but our friendships did not fade because they're built on much more than just the same experiences, and this is a real blessing. Another important point is that time spent not talking should not affect the depth of your friendship. When you spend a long time not talking to someone, you should never believe that you don't know this person anymore. You haven't talked too long, this time is lost, your connection is not that strong, they just didn't want to talk to you, because usually it's not true. We don't talk not because we don't want to, we just don't have time or energy, and both are perfectly valid. And I believe that this is how it should be, because we are all in a building stage and we cannot spend every waking moment of every day just talking to people and maintaining friendships this way. Instead, just live your life actively and be more excited about your next catch up. Be happy to see them, ask more questions, tell them more about yourself. Make sure that the times that you do have together really counts and that you use every hour to the max. The next mistake that goes fatal for many friendships is not following up on plans and disappearing completely. If you meet a friend randomly, and I'm sure we all have done this, and you say, we should get a coffee someday, this is not going anywhere. You're not going to get a coffee because you did not make a real plan. Someday is not a time slot in your calendar and it's never going to happen. If you really want to catch up with one of your friends, you choose a day, choose a time, and you put it in your both calendars. This way it's already tangible and you have what to come back to. And then, even if you cannot make it that day, it should become rescheduling, not just canceling. You say, I cannot make it today, but let's do it this day. If you cannot both have drinks at Wednesday at 7 p.m., then you reschedule for Saturday 9 a.m. when you are both most probably free, and you put real effort to go meet the person and talk to them. Another very actionable tip that I believe is very underrated is that every time you make plans, it needs to be at least a little different. You don't just always go to get a coffee. You don't always go and get drunk together. You make engaging plans and have new experiences with your friend. You need to go hiking, go traveling, go doing new sports together. Challenge each other to go and do stuff that scares one of you. And when you go and have these new experiences together, you need to have deep, meaningful conversations. You don't talk only about work drama, routine issues, the same toxic relationship you've been discussing since 2024. You choose deeper, more challenging topics. You can talk about whatever interests you, but some examples are religion, politics, art, culture, the current issues that you know of in the world right now, the bigger world, not the ones that's only yours. I know that it sounds controversial and more like a friendship killer, but I'm ready to stand for if you don't have the same worldview with your friend, then you should not be friends. If you disagree on the topics that matter to you, to the point that it causes serious arguments, then why do you want to keep this person in your life? The most obvious example in my life is that I'm Ukrainian and I would not be friends with anyone who supports Russia or Russian culture. Because let's imagine that in the morning I have talked to my mom, checked in on her, and she said to me, yes, there was an attack at night and I spent the night in the hallway. And then after my workday, I go out and support a local Russian business. Obviously, this is not how it works for me. Obviously, I'm not interested to have a conversation with someone who is going to be defending the country and the culture that is trying to destroy the lives of people I love. For me, it's a non-negotiable, and obviously that all my friends share my opinions on it. Or at least they're willing to learn and listen, because I have no illusions that people care as much as I do, obviously, because it does not affect anyone's life as much unless they're Ukrainian. And whatever this topic is in your life, you need to be ready to stand for it, and you need to be friends with people who are ready to stand for it with you. If you need to avoid important topics all the time, this friendship is never going to be sustainable, and it will cause you more stress and you will never have fulfillment from it. The third mistake is my favorite because it is very frequent from what I see, and I don't understand how people make it because it's just the opposite of my personality. This mistake is when you want to be friends with just everyone. You don't care if you have anything in common, you don't care if you speak the same language, you don't care if your schedules ever match, you don't notice that the person is not reciprocating in any way and you're just the only one making initiative in this relationship. And sometimes you even tolerate disrespect because you just want to keep a friend in your life. Real friendship should be built on mutual respect and knowing and supporting each other's rules and boundaries. The friend who really supports you will not repeatedly ask you to go out during your work hours. Or they will not ask you to trade an evening by yourself if you really need this time to recover and journal and have some time for yourself, whatever it may be. You have your life, and if someone is repeatedly asking you to trade it for some time with them with no specific reason, then the only reason is that they don't care about you. You don't need this person in your life, and especially if you hear any deprecative talk about you, like they say your plans don't matter this much, no matter how covered and how soft it sounds. If this is the idea, this person is not your friend. Also, the problem can be the opposite. Your friend is simply not interested in spending time with you. You're the only one following up, the only one making plans, the only one offering you activities. Your friend is always trying to cancel last minute. There's always some vague reason why they cannot meet you, and it's going on for months and months with always different reasons, but always the same outcome: they cannot meet you. Obviously, sometimes we really have stages when we cannot see anyone, people go through tough times. If you know that the person is struggling at work or there's a family problem, you need to be there for them, you need to support them, and even if you don't talk for a year, if necessary, that's fine. But if there's no real issue and they don't need your support, they just don't try to keep the connection in any way, it just means they don't appreciate you, and why would you need a friend like that? And the final rule is my golden rule for all the friendships that I have. No matter how long for I don't talk to a friend, no matter how lost from each other we feel, if any of my friends text me saying, "I'm in trouble, I need you right now," I will reply immediately or reach out to them as soon as possible. And I know that it's mutual. Even if I haven't talked to someone for a long time and I start texting a friend saying that I'm upset about anything, or if it's obvious that I need some support, even if I'm not asking for it, even if I don't expect them to reply to me anytime soon, I still see them going online and replying to these messages even when they're busy. And I think that this is the strongest part of why our friendships are so deep and we are so sure of them, because we know we're here for each other when we need it. Obviously, understandably, we all have our own lives. But the point of the friendship is to have someone in your life to know that you have their back, they have your back. You're not alone against all the problems. You have them with you, you can count on their support, on their help, and just knowing that you have them makes you feel better, even if you don't talk to them. I believe that having friendships is just as important as having a healthy relationship with your partner, having a healthy, growing, fulfilling career, having hobbies, having meaningful interests. You need people in your life, and having them brings just so much joy and so much peace that we can never neglect friendships and believe that it's not as necessary and you can just handle everything on your own. You probably can, but you will never be as happy as if you could share it with a friend. I'm really hoping that this video helped you answer why some of your friendships don't work and that now you know how to fix it, or if you need to fix it. If it just made you realize that you already have some really good friends, I'm happy for you. You can tell us about them in the comments, I will be happy to read it. And if you want to hear more stories about living in Spain, building a career in tech, and living a life intentionally, follow me not to miss my new videos, and see you in the next one.